Hey guys, welcome to a new journal with me video inside of my Hobonichi A5 as usual, my favorite journal for sure. And in this video, I'm going to be creating a fall spread inspired by Pocket Journal Pam's most recent video where she created a fall spread too. And so this is kind of my attempt and my version of it. So let's get started. So I'm drawing a cute girl with a cute backpack, and she's kind of fall themed if it were a sunny fall day. And I just kind of imagined her as a hiker or explorer, and she's maybe wandering through the forest, and there's all these fall leaves falling from the sky and looking all beautiful. I just kind of imagined this beautiful scenario. So drawing on the Hobonichi paper is actually quite nice. The paper is super thin, and there's minimal ghosting or bleeding depending on what you use. For instance, if you use water-based pens and markers, there's usually no bleed through, and maybe a little ghosting depending on how dark the color is or how wet the marker is. But yeah, it's a really great paper. And I heard that they're discontinuing it, but I'm not really sure on the facts. So if anyone watching this knows what's happening with the Hobonichi paper, please comment below and let us know, because I'm curious, and I've seen on different websites different information on it, and I'm not really sure what's actually right. So I'd love to know if you have a moment to clarify or give us a link to something to check out. But anyway, back to the journaling. So here I am creating a little latte in a cute little teacup, and I found some images of lattes on Google, and there was one with the cutest little Totoro design on it, and I was like, oh my god, I have to do that one. So I did my little attempt of drawing a cup looking face down on it, and I'm not sure how well I got the 3D kind of perspective, but I did my best. And I added a saucer and a spoon next to it to kind of show 3D depth, but yeah. And so next to it, I'm drawing some cute little macarons, and I've never actually had a macaron in real life. I'd love to try it one day, or even try and make some one day. I heard that they're quite, not hard to make necessarily, but that there's a long process in making them. So, sorry. So, yeah, I'd love to try though. And as you can see, I put down a lovely Reese's Pieces a Reese's peanut butter cup that's stuffed with Reese's Pieces. That's been my little sinful delight lately, and they're super good and super rich. I love them. Highly recommend. Anyway, yeah, so I'm just adding some more washi tape, the date, and I did a little washi tape collage here. I just thought the colors really went together, and I don't really have any autumn themed washi tape aside from the mushroom tape that I've used, which is by J-Box X Chi. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but that's kind of how their username is pronounced. But anyway, yeah, so I love their tape, and I love any excuse to use it. And so I thought the fall colors and mushrooms and everything were perfect for this spread. So yeah, so I colored in the leaves first with my Twee markers, but I was kind of unsatisfied with it. I felt like it needed more depth, or they needed more depth. And so after I colored them with the Twee markers, I went over them with watercolors, and I kind of made them more fall looking because I added in yellows and oranges to the leaves, and I think they look pretty good, if I do say so myself. Especially the brown leaf, I think it turned out pretty cool. So here I am doing the watercoloring, and I'm just adding in little splotches of colors here and there. There's little Hun Bun poking her head in, as usual. But yeah, I just added in colors here and there and kind of blended them a little, but also let them kind of be in their own separate areas, like how, you know how leaves have the tips, I think, are usually the parts that turn different colors first, or the edges. So that's what I tried to do with the leaves, is have the edges be more colorful. And yeah, so I think, like I said, I think the oak leaf is more successful than the other leaf. But hey, it was a fun experiment. And now I'm using fall colors on the macarons, and I think they turned out super cute. Although the bottom one, now that I'm looking at it, is a little weird shaped, but it had more, in the picture that I was looking at, it had more of like a whipped kind of fudge center, so that's maybe why it looks kind of weird, because I tried to do that. And yeah, so I added some cheeks to Totoro and the latte in the background. I'm guessing it was some kind of green tea latte or something like that. And back to the macarons. So I wanted to originally color the macarons in that olivey color that the latte is colored in, but I felt like since I had already used the color, that it would look not great if I did another object on the page right next to it in that same color, so I went with green instead. A little tip that I have for you guys, which may seem obvious to some but maybe not others, is when you're working on a drawing and you're using watercolors, what you can do is paint your elements that aren't next to each other. For instance, if I was going to paint the latte part in the teacup, I wouldn't want to paint the brown outline that I'm doing on Totoro right there, because the colors would obviously blend. So if you divide each thing up and say paint the saucer, and then there's kind of line art in between that and the latte, that would work well as a couple to like paint right after each other. And then once the latte dries, you can come in with the next element that's next to it and paint that in. I hope that makes sense, but just a little tip for you guys. So now that the saucer is pretty much done, I'm going to start coloring in the fudge on the macaron, and I just used another twee marker for that. And now that I'm coloring in the girl, I'm going to put a little bit of music on until that part is over. So now I'm coming in with some of my LCN washi tape, and I just love that mushroom washi tape. In fact, I love any mushroom washi tape. I'll take it all. So then I decided to make a journal spot, and I used my light chartreuse Prismacolor pencil crayon, and I made kind of a little outline for a box, and It's supposed to be leaves, but it's kind of hard to tell with how bright the color is on screen. And then I also came in with my neon pencil crayon, and I just made these little kind of sprinkle marks, and I love how they pop against the paper. Like, it's so crazy that a pencil crayon has such a bright pigment in it to me that can just pop so crazy like paint. I love it so much. I love neon so much. I'm obsessed. But yeah, and then I wanted to create another journal spot up above there, and it's kind of an odd shape. So what I did was I ended up drawing stars in the bottom portion of the journal spot, right where I'm painting right now, because writing down there would be kind of hard to have it like connect to the rest of the block. So yeah, I just added in some stars with my gel pens. And I'm coloring in the journal spot with orange. I felt like that would pop pretty well because I wasn't really sure what color to use there. And I felt like I only used a little bit on that side of the page, and the macaron on the other side was orange, so I felt like they would balance each other out. And then now I'm using some Jane Davenport mermaid marker, and it's the bright pink one. I forget what it's called. Yeah, I forget what it's called, but it's really nice. It's kind of like an opera pink or a slightly almost neon pink. And so yeah, I just used that right there. And then I wrote the day in, and I don't usually write my actual journal entries on camera. I do that off camera because it's kind of boring to watch someone just write, I think. And so yeah, anyway, I guess I'm done now. And so, oh no, I'm adding little dashes onto the little block there, the journal spot. And I like to call it notes sometimes. I think that's kind of cute. But yeah, I think I'm nearly at the end here. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and my random rambling throughout. I always find these voiceovers so difficult. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you like seeing the little up-close details here. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps grow my channel, and let me know if you're enjoying the content. I would love to hear some feedback. So thank you guys so much. Peace!